it's time to add a background to our project. So that's what we want to try to do today. I'm going to show you a couple of different choices that you have. Sometimes we'll end up keeping our building lot that we have in the scene. Other times we end up deleting it altogether depending on the background we choose. But I wanted to show you a few things about that. I'm going to get started today by just turning off the gray page block that's in this scene right now. Remember, by now you should have saved views 1 and saved views 2 already created, showing the front and the back of the house. And what I'm going to do right now is just worry about saved view 1. What I'm going to do is try to create a false horizon back here, some type of horizon. So I want to go ahead and figure out where I'm going to do that. Before I do that, I'm first going to insert a background. And for this, I'm going to try to create a snowy scene with some snow-covered mountains in the background. So I've already saved a photo to my desktop that I liked. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a brand new RenderWorks texture. Or I'm sorry, a brand new RenderWorks background. And I'm just going to use an image texture, one of the images that I found. Just the snow scene right here. So now that background is shown up in my file, I can go ahead and just right-click that to apply it. And if it shows up too small, I'm going to show you how to fix that. So there we go. It is way too small for mine. I'm going to go to View, Save View 1 again. And in here, I'm just going to edit that background. Under the options, I'm just going to make it a lot wider. I'm going to make it about 30 inches wide. Now you can see that that shows up much better in the background. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and create a false horizon back in here. I think I will end up having to make that slightly smaller. But I'm going to draw just a horizontal line. And now I'm going to make the center of that line stay right where it's at. But I'm going to make the length of that line just much bigger than I need. You can see that line goes all across the page right now. Because what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cut off this back part of my building lot. So I just selected the building lot. I'm going to use the line split mode in my split tool. I'm going to drag that across my building lot and delete that back corner. That gives me a horizontal cut across my building property. Now, obviously, this won't blend in with my snow scene here. So I would actually put a snow texture on there. For right now, I'm just going to change this to a slightly off-white color. And I think if I just change the rotation slightly, and I were to change that texture to match a little bit better, I could get that matched up really well. Now, sorry, I mentioned turning this block off, this gray block. I want to do that right now. File, page setup. I'm just going to uncheck show page boundary. I can turn that back on before I try and do any prints. But there's my house with a little bit of a snow scene. Now there's another option, and that's this. I'm going to try this right now and see if we can get this one to work out. I'm just going to totally delete the building lot and have just my CAD work on that snow scene, and all of a sudden that looks so much better. Let's go back to save view 1 here. I'm going to get rid of this line. And that one happened to work out really well for my saved view. It looks like the building lot is down here on a snowy scene. And you can see the mountains, the snowy mountains in the background. So I'm going to save that as a separate file. All that snow. Let's see. Some of you may need to leave that building lot in depending on the background you pick. Some backgrounds work much better than others. I happen to just get lucky with this one that I have a big snow-covered area right here for my saved view and the mountain behind it, and that one seems to work pretty well. But I've also done some other backgrounds, trying different ones out. I have this one that I like. A little bit of snow up here on the hilltops, but more of a grassy scene with the mountains in it. And then I did one at the lake during a sunset right there that we could use. So there are some choices for some backgrounds, some options you can try, but no matter what, today we want to get some type of background in here. I think as I continue with this project, I'll probably be using this mountain scene. I like the way that one looks the most. Hope that helps. Let's get a background in today. Let me know if you have any questions.